Hey guys, it's day one of E3 2015, and I am joined by Alex, who has been to see Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, I have. I actually got to play the co-op mode of Star Wars Battlefront, which is kind of like a horde mode.
Right, okay, so yesterday we saw the gameplay trailer of the multiplayer,
Right.
but you actually got to see a bit more about the co-op mode. So tell us a bit more about it.
So the co-op mode is a two-player, either local or online, split screen. Like the split screen is what I played. It's a two-player horde mode sort of thing. Like you take on increasingly difficult waves of enemies,
Right.
and
So are these stormtroopers, or?
yeah, they're stormtroopers, and the one that I played, it threw in an ATSD later on. It threw in some different ranks of stormtroopers. So the biggest thing is that it gets like significantly harder over the 6 rounds that I played.
Okay, so like any horde mode, like bigger and bigger and bigger waves,
Yep.
right?
Yep. The difference is this horde mode actually has an end. So the one that we played ended at 6 rounds. The one in the game they told me would end at 15 rounds.
Right, okay. I've been playing lots of horde modes over the years, and I'm bored silly of them. What makes this one interesting?
So I'm going to start with the good parts first. So what I thought was really special about this is it's Star Wars Battlefront. So it looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
And the graphical fidelity itself is like, it's pretty good, but the presentation and the style of Star Wars Battlefront of what I saw was amazing. Like they made it look like a movie.
What do you mean? Tell us more about how they made it look so filmic.
So I'm going to tell you, like, my favorite moment in the demo I played, and the favorite moment actually from the trailer, the gameplay trailer yesterday, was when I was playing in third person and I zoomed in over the shoulder of of my character to line up a shot with the blaster against stormtroopers running like horizontally across the screen.
Yeah.
And I had to like lead the shots of the blaster a little bit, and when those shots hit the stormtroopers, it looked like a movie. Like sparks flied out. The stormtroopers were, they were running, and their animations were exactly like the Star Wars movies.
Oh, right.
The way the shots hit them was like exactly like the Star Wars movies, and it just looked like it was straight out of a movie.
Right. So you actually had to. So they were like running this way, and you had to like line up your shots. So
Yeah. I actually had to lead them
perfect.
a little bit. Like there was a significant time difference between when I pulled the trigger and when the shot landed where I was aiming. So I had to lead it, and it felt like I was actually, kind of in the movie in that way.
Were you playing with someone else as well?
I was.
This is co-op, right?
I was playing with someone else on the same screen, so it was split screen. And this is where actually one of the problems was. So the map I played on was this map in a canyon. It looked pretty good. Like it looked like, again, it was out of a Star Wars movie. But the problem was because my screen was so small, because it was so narrow, the map was super vertical, and so I had a pretty hard time.
So the split goes down.
Yeah, no,
it
it goes down horizontally in the middle.
Okay, right.
And so I had to, it was hard to sometimes keep track of the stormtroopers because I was on the canyon floor. A stormtrooper was way above me.
So there's
on
a
the
lack
canyon
of
top.
visibility. You're basically saying.
Yep. And so occasionally I would run into the situation where there would be someone shooting at me, and I was just looking all around, looking up and down, and just because my screen was so small, I couldn't actually see them.
That sounds like me every single game I play, but I don't have that excuse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like it could have been just that I'm bad, but I actually thought that it just wasn't that visible.
Okay. Kids these days love to talk about frame rate, so let's talk about frame rate.
So this is another problem. It felt a little imprecise because the game was running at 30 frames a second, and I'm used to shooters running at 60 frames a second.
Right, okay. And how important is that, like a shooter running at 60 frames per second? Why is that such a big deal?
So it's a big deal for precision with timing your shots. Like if you're lining up a shot, you want to know that when you pull the trigger, there's very little difference between when you pull the trigger and when the shot comes out of your gun.
Got
so
you.
The higher the frame rate, the more that is like instantaneous.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
And we both saw the trailer yesterday. We were both super excited by it.
Yeah.
I think there's a ton of potential in this game, don't you think?
Yeah, I do too. And I think the co-op mode that I saw was, pretty rote as far as horde modes go. But like I said, just the style of it is amazing. And I'm really going to have to see, the actual multiplayer before I'm going to make any judgment about the game.
Well, the multiplayer looks absolutely fantastic. But how much do you think this co-op mode will add to the experience?
I really like. My knee-jerk reaction right now is that it won't add too much. It feels kind of just like a co-op, like a tack-on split-screen co-op mode that they just put in to have another option.
Yep.
But we'll have to see what the full experience is.
Okay. Well, look, for more news, features, and analysis on Star Wars Battlefront, you stick around.